Welcome to Business Book Daily. Today I'm breaking down Unscripted by MJ DeMarco, a book about escaping the default path of working, saving slowly, and waiting decades for freedom. I'll cover the big idea, the practical business lesson, and three sharp insights you can use right away. Let's get into it. But first, a word from our sponsor. Want to sell more without adding fixed payroll? A lot of smart operators hire commission-only reps, experienced sellers who get paid only when they produce results. If that sounds like a smarter way to scale, post your opportunity at commissiononly.com. Thousands of motivated reps are actively looking for performance-based roles right now. Commissiononly.com. Today's book is Unscripted by MJ DeMarco. DeMarco is an entrepreneur, investor, author, and founder of the Fastlane Forum, where he writes about entrepreneurship, wealth, and building businesses that create real freedom. His core argument is simple. Most people follow a life script built around school, jobs, debt, slow saving, and delayed freedom. That path can feel safe, but it often teaches people to trade their best years for a future they may never fully enjoy. That's what makes this book useful. DeMarco isn't just talking about making more money. He's talking about control. Control over your time, control over your income, control over your choices, control over what you build and who benefits from it. The practical lesson is this. If your income depends only on your labor, your freedom is limited. A job can pay you, but it rarely gives you full control. A boss can change. A role can disappear. A company can cut costs. A market can shift. If someone else controls the system, they also control a big piece of your future. DeMarco's alternative is ownership. Build assets, systems, products, or businesses that solve problems and can grow beyond your direct effort. One of the strongest ideas in the book is that the script rewards safety over freedom. Most people are trained to get credentials, get a job, buy things on debt, save a little, invest slowly, and hope retirement makes everything worth it. That path can work for some people, but DeMarco argues it's too slow and too dependent on outside forces. You can do everything right and still feel trapped by a schedule, a paycheck, a mortgage, and a future that keeps getting pushed further away. Another key lesson is that ownership beats wages over time. A job pays you for hours. Ownership can pay you for value. That distinction matters. If you're paid only when you're personally working, your income has a ceiling. There are only so many hours in a day. But if you own a business, a product, software, a repeatable service model, intellectual property, or a system that solves a real problem, the income can grow beyond your personal time. That doesn't mean ownership is easy. It means the math is different. The book also makes a strong point about value creation. A real business doesn't exist to make the founder rich first. It exists to solve a problem people care about. That's where a lot of people get entrepreneurship backward. They start with what they want: money, freedom, status, flexibility. But the market cares about what the customer wants. If you solve a painful, expensive, stressful, or urgent problem, you have the foundation for a real business. If the problem is weak, the business will usually be weak too. DeMarco also talks about scale. If income depends only on your personal time, growth has a hard limit. To build real freedom, you need to think about systems, products, teams, media, technology, or processes that let value reach more people without requiring you to do every task yourself. That's an important warning for service providers and founders. Sometimes people quit a job and accidentally build themselves another one. The title changes. The stress doesn't. If you're still the bottleneck in sales, delivery, support, decisions, and operations, you may own a business on paper, but you're still trapped inside the machine. Another major idea is that freedom requires control. Money helps, of course, but money without control can still feel fragile. If one client, one platform, one boss, one vendor, one algorithm, or one employer can wreck your income overnight, you're not as free as you may think. A stronger business gives you more control over pricing, customers, distribution, systems, direction, and time. So how do you apply this? Start by looking at how your income is created. If every dollar depends on your personal time, approval, or labor, you don't really have a scalable business yet. You may have a demanding job that you happen to own. Next, identify the problem your business solves. Don't start with what you want to sell. Start with what people already want fixed. Look for problems that cost money, waste time, create stress, block progress, or make people feel stuck. Then ask whether your offer can grow without you touching every piece of delivery. If you're involved in every sale, every customer issue, every decision, and every task, growth will eventually become painful. Look for ways to document your process. Train others, automate repeated steps, simplify delivery, turn your knowledge into a product, build a system that can create value without you standing in the middle of every transaction. After that, review your control points. Who controls your customer access? Who controls your traffic? Who controls your pricing power? Who controls your platform? If one outside party can damage your income overnight, your business may be more fragile than it looks. Then focus on building assets, not just income. An asset could be an email list, a trusted brand, a product, a sales process, a customer base, a database, a repeatable service model, or a team that can deliver without constant supervision. The goal is to create something that becomes more valuable over time. Be careful not to confuse busyness with progress. Working longer hours doesn't automatically mean you're building freedom. Some tasks create short-term income, but no long-term asset. Other tasks, like improving offers, building systems, hiring well, creating products, and strengthening customer relationships, can create lasting value. Finally, design the business around the life you actually want. More revenue isn't useful if it comes with less control, more stress, and no time to think. A better business should create value for customers while also giving the owner more choice. Otherwise, you may just be building a bigger cage with nicer furniture. Now, here are 3 insights worth sharing. First, a paycheck can make you comfortable, but ownership is what creates real upside. If your income depends entirely on someone else's system, your freedom is still rented. Second, the goal isn't to escape work. It's to stop building a life where every dollar requires your time, approval, and presence. Third, a real business solves a problem, creates value, and builds assets that grow beyond the founder's daily labor. Anything else can become just another job with a better title. Today's closing sponsor is memoirghostwriting.com. Many of the best business books start as ideas leaders have been refining for years. Memoirghostwriting.com works with founders, executives, and industry experts to turn those ideas into polished business books that build authority, attract leads, and open doors. They handle everything from interviews to writing to editing to publishing. If there's a book in your head that should already be helping your business, learn more at memoirghostwriting.com. That's it for today. See you next time.